By some unknown questions today.
Yes, we're going to talk about the best country for immigration, for retirement as US citizen. So now you have experience living in Costa Rica, France, and Spain. So I suggest you compare those three countries, find three best options in Spain, in Costa Rica, and in France. And after you can find three, the biggest minuses.
That's my challenge.
Yes, that's your challenge. Let's see.
Each country has very unique qualities. I'll start with Costa Rica. So I retired and moved to Costa Rica for a year. Then my next country was France for 9 months, and now I've been in Spain for
9 months.
9.5 months.
Yeah.
And we'll be here for at least the next 6 months, most likely. So I went to Costa Rica because all of my research told me it was safe for Americans, it was affordable, and not too much crime in the areas where Americans go. And I like the country because they have no military and they're good to animals. They don't allow zoos, and they don't allow you to have as a pet any animal who is indigenous to the country. So I go to Costa Rica. After being there for 9 months, I loved it, but the solitude really got to me.
3 pluses. The
3
biggest
pluses.
one. Yeah.
It's where I was living, it's really beautiful. The rainforests are just amazing. The ocean is amazing. The weather is consistent for 12 months. It's
Rain.
85 degrees. You said positive things. It's about 85 degrees 24 hours a day, 12 months out of the year. And the ocean is about 85 degrees. The rainforests are beautiful. The people are pretty nice. Enough of them speak English that you can get by without too much Spanish. The downsides are it's difficult to make friends with the locals, because really the only friends you have that are locals are store owners, restaurant owners, and they're busy all day, so you can't go out and socialize with them during the day, so your only communication is when you go and buy something, or you go and eat at the restaurant, or you talk to people. Then you have tourists. Most of those tourists are between 16 and 25, so they don't always come up and make friends with, a guy like me, so most of the time I spent there, you just don't talk to anybody.
What about
you're
food choice?
completely alone.
Food, grocery stores, in comparison to US or Spain.
Grocery stores are a little bit difficult because you go one place to buy one of the 3 tomatoes that they have for the day. You go to another place to buy one of the heads of lettuce out of 5 choices, and the good thing and bad thing. The good thing is that most of the things that you buy are locally grown, and they're probably organic, no pesticides. They definitely don't put anything in any of their foods to make them last longer. So anything that you buy milk, it's good for 2 days max, and then it turns into cottage cheese or whatever it turns into. And fruits and vegetables, 2 or 3 days, and that's it, even if you keep them in your refrigerator. Grocery stores are very small. They don't have nearly, if you want cereal, you get a choice of 1 or 2. You don't get a choice of 50 brands. So eating.
And you talk about what part of Costa Rica? Costa Rica is big country.
Puerto Viejo.
Yeah, so it's Caribbean part.
Southeastern side, in the Caribbean, maybe 30 kilometers from Panama.
Okay.
So we're moving on to France.
Yes, Spain maybe. You will leave France for that.
Went to France next.
Okay.
So France, we were in Normandy, France, in the northern region of France. It has forest, farmland, and the ocean. So you get a little of everything. You have to drive for 45 minutes to get to the ocean, but the ocean, we had Etretat, which is one of the most beautiful places on earth for the ocean. And we had Honfleur, which is a little harbor city, which is really, really nice, really pretty. You have castles all over Normandy of different ages. Some go back to 1200 and some of them are more modern.
So a lot of history.
1600 or 1700.
Yeah, no history in Costa Rica or US, It's a huge plus,
Huge history. So, France, you've got a lot of historical things. You have the ocean, you have the forest. One of the problems I had with Normandy is that it rains more in Normandy than it does in Costa Rica. Costa Rica has one of the heaviest rainfalls in the world, but it doesn't rain every day, it just rains very heavily. In Normandy, even during the summer, maybe there was 3 days in a row where it didn't rain, but pretty much it rains every day, but it's just little drizzles of rain, not very heavy. You go outside and you feel some sun, so you take your shirt off and everything's pleasant, but it lasts about 3 minutes because it's always cloudy, the clouds are moving, and so it's sunny for 5 minutes, it rains for 15, then it's sunny for 10 minutes and it rains for 5. And it's like that all summer long. When it becomes fall and winter, it's fucking cold. It's bone-chilling cold. And so that takes from getting used to.
What about French speaking English?
French don't admit to speaking English. Even if you run into somebody who speaks English fluently, they'll rarely admit it. It's a little difficult in stores if you need to ask for something in particular because nobody admits to speaking English.
But what about food and food choice?
Food
and price.
Some of the best food that there is on the planet, I'm sure. Their dairy products couldn't be better anywhere. Didn't really eat red meat, but I'm sure that it's great because they've got cows walking around grazing in the grass all over Normandy, so I'm sure that the meat is really good. They have, they're close to the ocean.
What about croissants?
Yeah, the croissants, all of their...
And chocolate and price for that?
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah, and in America you buy a candy bar for $4.50. In Normandy it's €1.
What about 49 cents chocolate bar? You remember?
Yeah, I'm sure that there's chocolate bars for
19 cents croissant.
49 cents for in America are $1.50 or $2.50. Pretty much I figured everything's about 1/4 the price. So rent is 1/4 the price, food is 1/4 the price, so your living expenses are 1/4 the price. One of the reasons why when I was looking for a place to retire, when you Google American expats, they show only third world countries.
Yeah, they never
so
mention.
You go to these places and really there's no place in Costa Rica, there was no place to buy men's clothes. You couldn't buy a pair of shorts, a shirt, you could buy some shoes maybe, but literally no shopping in the southernmost area of Costa Rica.
What about shopping in Spain?
Well, we haven't moved off of France yet. France is a great place. It's too cold during the winter in northern France, and it rains all summer. So in December, the end of December, we moved to Spain because it was too fucking cold. And
Even though it was 0 probably or -1, not very cold in regular term, but for people who lived in California and got spoiled by
it was
California.
hailing and snowing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So it's pretty close to 0.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went to southern Spain. We stopped in Barcelona. Barcelona is an amazing place. I don't know about living in Barcelona, but you spend 3 or 4 days there visiting. It's really beautiful. They're right on the ocean, so you have the ocean. You have a lot of historic buildings there, and everybody speaks English, so it's no problem going in the stores, shopping, or buying a train ticket or a bus ticket or whatever you're going to do. You want to stop and ask directions someplace, you're going to find somebody that speaks English, so that's no problem.
We didn't even hear Spanish when we moved to south of Spain.
So
You don't even know that you're in Spain.
We get to Spain, and we moved into a little town called La Mata for the first 4 months. And yeah, pretty much you don't even hear Spanish. I'll get to the Spanish-speaking people later, but it's all tourists. So you hear, and it runs in cycles. So for 2 weeks, it's primarily Germans. And then for 2 weeks, it's primarily Russians. And then for 2 weeks, it's Dutch and the Scandinavian peoples. And then 2 weeks, it's only British, and I really dislike British.
But we haven't seen
when you run into a Spanish speaker, you know it, because you can hear them from 2 blocks away. Many of the Spanish people talk so loud, they talk so fast and so loud, and they roll their R's like and you can hear them from 2 blocks away. When they get close to you, or you walk past one, you have to put your hands. In fact, I was considering wearing earplugs when I'm outside, because when they get close to you and they're talking, it hurts my ears, they're so loud.
But now you learn how you can talk when you're on one side of the road and you can talk to someone who is on the other side.
Yeah.
It's a great pleasure.
In the city, they're on the street and they're talking to somebody who's on the 5th floor of the building, or they're on the street in one corner, and across the street 1 block up, they're holding a conversation with somebody that they spotted walking by.
So what is the best feature of Spain?
Spain is kind of like France as far as expenses go. Everything's about 1/4 the cost. Some things are half the cost, but probably total living expenses is living expenses is maybe 1/2 of Orange County, but you can live a lot more extravagantly. When I was in Orange County, there was lots of food items I wouldn't buy because I'm not paying $5 for a loaf of bread. Here, you can buy a loaf of bread for $1. You can buy a piece of bread, the long thin ones that they make that are freshly baked that morning.
40 cents.
For 40 cents. So yeah, the costs are much better in here. Now we're in Torrevieja.
What about entertainment and lifestyle? You went to bed at Costa Rica at 4, in France at 6 or 7, and here you stay up.
It gets dark by 4:30. If you're living in the forest, it can be dark at 4 o'clock. Down in Spain, when we first got here, I think it got dark at 5:30. At the high point during the summer, I guess, it would get dark at 10 or 11 p.m. It's light about 7:30 in the morning, 7:30, and it's light until maybe 11 p.m.
It's not only about daylight, it's about how people live here.
Out on the boardwalks by the sea, nobody wakes up, nobody goes out there until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And every store in the city is closed from 2 to 5. They're closed on Sundays.
For siestas.
Sometime in August, some stores would stay open between, some stores, 1 out of 10 maybe, might stay open during that 2 to 5 period because there's so many shoppers still out. But yeah, a lot of people go to restaurants at
11.
probably 10 p.m.
or 11.
9, they start going in. By 10, it's pretty darn crowded. By 11, the place is still full. From 10 to 11:30 or something, it's packed.
And all kids still play
kids,
at midnight.
Kids running around. Yeah, none of the kids here have any manners whatsoever. And teenagers are horribly mischievous and disrespectful.
We talk
of
about
adults.
classes. You remember the biggest class when you walk on a boardwalk or sidewalk along the beach? What do you like to see? What is
No
unique
people.
feature? No, something unique what you can find only in Spain.
Unique in
Yeah.
Spain.
Some extra plus for any
Well,
male.
the sea is really calm.
Not that.
Oh, naked girls. So the beaches are clothing optional. I think it's not illegal for a man to be totally naked or a woman to be totally naked, but you just don't see it. There is a nude beach not too far from us that is not even clothing optional. You don't wear clothing and go there, but
We talk
all
about
the
city
beaches
beach.
are topless. So it's pretty easy. Within an hour, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you can see maybe 30 topless girls, which is really nice.
Isn't it amazing?
So I've seen some really
I
nice
think during this
teenage girls that normally you see just in clothing, and they're just walking around out there.
Yeah. So I guess during these few months in Spain, you probably saw so many topless girls, different
I've
ages
seen
and different.
every type of breast known to man or woman, and every nipple type imaginable. So you can break them down. What you see in a day, you can break them down by breast size or firmness, or whether they're real or
You probably-
augmented. And then you can break down nipple types. And
You can write scientific papers about type.
when I was a kid, we'd go on these driving trips, and they had this game where you mark the things that you see, like you see a tree, you see a gas station, you see a stop sign, a yield sign, and all the things that you see when you're driving. Down here, we play the game whether you've seen the peanut nipple, the huge,
No, we play who we put in our beauty list.
or the beauty,
A
List.
lot of
which
beautiful.
is the best one that we
So
saw.
what race is the most beautiful?
I don't want to talk races.
Why? Didn't we discover that Scandinavian people some kind of
So, Scandinavians to me
aliens?
look like aliens. I mean, when I see them, I feel uncomfortable because they're just so odd to look
They are
at.
so
They're
perfect.
7 feet tall, blonde hair, white skin. They all look identical. They have identical haircuts. They wear the same type of clothing. They're usually well dressed, never sloppy, always neat, brand new clothes, never like 1 month old clothes. And they're in a beach city like this, they're just so out of place. It's like seeing aliens.
More out
walking
of
down the
space than
street.
seeing Muslims fully clothed on the beach in comparison to topless girls.
Yeah, there's Muslims here, probably still more Muslims in Southern California than you have here, but yeah, it's a little odd to see. You never see a Muslim woman and the man together. Who knows what the men are doing? They're probably out fucking whores and drinking. And the women, you know, where they're cover their whole body and their head and walk around. Sometimes they have their 5 or 7 children, and sometimes they might be alone. Sometimes there's 2 women together.
Did you ever see them swimming?
No, they don't go in the water.
Didn't you remember one time we saw some Muslim girl
She
swimming?
put her foot in the water.
She was
Yeah,
fully
once.
dressed. You remember her swimsuit when the head was covered, the legs
Her
complete.
swimsuit was
Looks
the
like
same
diving
clothes
suit.
that she was
No,
wearing
it
walking
was
down the street.
special. It was special swimsuit. It just looked like diving suit or something with hat all together, only eyes. You didn't pay attention. Okay, so what country would you vote for retirement for Americans? What secret you would share with them?
Well, I wouldn't pick Costa Rica. It's 2 third world. You don't have to worry about the police or the federales. What you have to worry about in Costa Rica is they have 2 types of police. One is like a civil guard, and one of them just does highway traffic. The highway traffic guys are completely corrupt. They'll pull you over and try to extort money out of you. It's gonna happen. You're not gonna go to Costa Rica and spend 9 months there without a year or 6 months or 3 months.
I think you
without-
have pretty interesting
without getting
experience.
pulled over by
with-
these highway cops. But the police, very friendly, very nice. In fact, they protect you. You can walk up to a policeman and talk to them. Most of them don't speak English, but you can talk to them anyway. And yeah, you don't see any federal police down there.
Why do we talk about police? I'm asking what country would you choose?
Well, a lot of it has to do with police, because
So you would
want
choose Costa Rica?
safeness, and in any of the countries we're discussing, you worry less about some criminal coming up and robbing you. If you're gonna lose your money, it's gonna be the police.
I didn't feel any danger in any of those countries and any need for police. But you have very interesting
Well,
experience with
I got
driving.
got extorted in Costa Rica. Got
Yeah.
extorted in Spain.
Yeah. What about
No
France? Didn't
extortion in France? of
you
course.
get your ticket for speeding
Oh, yeah.
51?
Yeah, that's a funny thing. So they have in France, they have them in Spain too, but I think they're not turned on. In France, they have radar controls out on the highway in some obscure place downtown in cities, usually as you enter a city. So you've been driving 120 kilometers per hour, and then all of a sudden you see a sign that says 40. You don't have time to go from 120 to 40, and then all of a sudden you see a flash of light, and a month later you get a ticket in the mail. They put these
I think your ticket
radar,
was for speeding up in 50 zone, driving 51.
got a ticket, yeah, probably in a 50 zone, driving 51.
Yeah.
There's no tolerance,
Yeah.
and
And no way.
nobody pulls you over.
Yeah.
They have radar and they have cameras. So just in some weird place, and your GPS will warn you, but otherwise you would never know. And some of them are marked that they have them coming up, but you don't know where they are. It just says it's coming up. If you have a GPS, you'll get a warning that the radar is there, but
So we need your conclusion.
France,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Why it's horrible?
Horrible.
You just got one ticket.
They're all one ticket that we know of because we left and
What
might
about
have gotten
Spain?
3 more.
Isn't it better?
Spain has the radar set up all over the place, but there's no proof that they're even functional.
What about you look intelligent to understand?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your conclusion? Our video is too long.
I
So
would go to Spain
why?
because it's better than the other two.
Good. People speak English.
France is really beautiful. I love Normandy. I like the fact that you have forests and the ocean, and it's pretty much all farmland. You know, we had Rouen, this big city near us, but the cities are far apart. You know, an hour drive between city and city, it's an hour or more drive. And all you have in between are these little tiny towns or villages that are 1 block long. And the rest of it is just farmland and ranches. You see cows everywhere, sheep everywhere, and then farmland where they
In
grow
Spain
stuff.
you have mountains and sea
Yeah,
and
well, right now where
everything.
we are, all you have is the ocean. There's no. It's like the desert. There's
But in
not many
an
trees.
hour you can be in mountains. Don't you remember Guadalest and all those beauty? It's an hour
I'm
drive.
still afraid to drive in Spain because
You
they'll
don't-
pull you over for no reason and ask you for $100 or they're taking you to jail, just like Costa Rica.
Just because you look very intelligent.
Yeah, because I look intelligent. I guess if you look stupid, then they'll excuse you. But if you look intelligent, then they want your money.
That's good.
So my warning to everybody, if you're driving in Spain, always carry €100
Cash,
on you.
yeah. Otherwise it will be
Cash.
more expensive.
Otherwise, you're going to jail and they'll impound your car.
No, they didn't say you go to jail. They just wanted to take your car. That's all. Yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing with us such a thoughtful.
You're welcome.